let's go ahead and get started because I do want to be respectful of everyone's time. So my name is Ashley Biggs, and I am the Marketing and Outreach Librarian for the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. And there are captions, or there's supposed to be captions for this. At the bottom of your screen, it should be enabled. If it's not, I will make sure that there is a transcript available at the end of the program as well. So a very quick introduction to our program and events. This will only take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to go over everything. Okay, I see the caption feature is not showing up. Okay. I will make sure that there is a transcript. We are in the process of transcribing all of our videos, so I will make sure that there is a transcript. It'll go out with the YouTube link for this as well. All right. So very quickly, our library was established well over 50 years ago and is part of a cooperating network of libraries for the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. We provide accessible reading options to those unable to access traditional print. What this means are individuals who are blind, who have low vision, people with a physical limitation that prevents them from holding a book or turning pages, individuals with organic dysfunctions like dyslexia or receptive aphasia, where cognition is in place, but they may not be able to process traditional print and media. So how do we do this? Primarily, we use something called a digital talking book machine. The digital talking book machine, and I'm going to describe the image on the slide. The digital talking book machine weighs approximately 3 pounds. It is a rectangular device about 8 inches long, 6 inches wide, and about 2 inches deep. It, on the very, very top of the digital talking book player is a speaker. The speaker next to it has the adjustments for tone and speed, so you can adjust tone of your speaker and the speed of your speaker. This is actually really good because when I record books, I sound like a 12-year-old child. So you might want to add a little bit more timbre in my voice. Below the speaker is the option for start, stop, fast forward, rewind, adjusting the volume, and setting a sleep timer that goes in 15-minute increments. On the very, very front of the player is a beveled opening. This beveled opening allows for a digital talking book to be placed inside. A digital talking book is a cartridge that contains multiple books on it. So anywhere between 5 and 25 books can be on a single cartridge. This cartridge slides into the player, and it only goes in one direction. So this makes it very easy to use and very easy to manipulate. It comes in a mailing case that can be blue, gray, or peach. The mailing case is a clamshell plastic case that opens and closes with snaps. The snaps are designed specifically for those with physical limitations so that they can use an assistive device to open it or close it. Now, the player itself has software that allows for easy to use instructions to be played anytime a book is not present. So for instance, if I were to take the player and press the start stop button and there is no book inside, it will tell me what the start stop button does. The same thing for volume up, volume down, speed up, speed down, tone up, tone down. It will tell you what those buttons do. When you place the cartridge inside the player, then those buttons become activated and you will be able to adjust the tone and the speed to your liking. All of our books are recorded with a live human voice. What this means is that where you may traditionally find, you know, audio being played with a automated computer voice. All of the books that we provide here at the Library for the Blind and Print Disabled are recorded human beings. They are professional voice actors that record the books. Now, in Maryland specifically, we offer an opportunity for a Marylandia collection. This is a special sub-collection that we ourselves record in-house using volunteers. The digital talking book player is lightweight and portable. Again, it weighs about 3 pounds. Now, for some, this is lightweight and they throw it in their backpack and they're good to go. For others, this is extremely heavy. So when we say lightweight and portable, we just mean in general, it is a portable device. It comes with a 29-hour battery life. I like to round up and say 30. But it does come with a very long extended battery life, about 29 hours of playtime. On the side of the of the digital talking book player are accessory ports. One is for standard headphones. These are the traditional over-the-ear earbud type headphones with a wire and a 3.5 millimeter jack that can go into the side of the player. There's also a USB connection. This USB connection allows you to use accessories that we provide, like a breath switch, a remote, or perhaps you are using a USB stick because you've downloaded books from an additional resource. All of the materials that we physically send you, like the digital talking book player, like the digital talking books, are sent postage paid through the U.S. Postal Service. These materials are sent with a mailing card that has your address or the patron's address on the front, and when you that is all white with a punch hole on the left-hand side. I'm sorry, right-hand side. When you turn that over, I apologize. When you turn that over, the card will then have a color contrast with our address on it, and the punch hole will be on the right-hand side. We offer a Braille collection here. Now, this collection is the largest outside of Washington, D.C., as far as we're aware. It is a very large collection. It is mailed to individuals from our library here in Baltimore in a specialized mailing container, again, using those mailing labels. We provide materials for all reading levels and in multiple languages. For instance, Harry Potter, we have in English and in Spanish. We have a few books in other languages as well. We offer magazines in multiple languages and in primarily English, though, in Braille. And to give you context for how big our Braille collection is and why we say it's large. Traditionally, we like to hold up Joy of Cooking. Joy of Cooking is a cookbook that's been around for well over 70 years. And it's the 75th anniversary edition is about 3 inches wide and has thousands of pages with size 8 font. I mean, it is small font. But in contrast, in Braille, that is over 30 volumes of Braille books, each 3 to 4 inches wide. Now, that's a lot to send through the U.S. Postal Service. So in 2020, the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled actually provided and test piloted here in Maryland a e-reader for e-Braille to download Braille directly to your e-reading device through Wi-Fi. And it has been extremely popular. They test piloted it in multiple places, and it looks like it's going to be rolling out in the future. So we couldn't be more excited. Now, I want you to consider this. Individuals who read Braille may often have multiple volumes for a single book, and then they would have to take that book with them to wherever they go. This e-reader is approximately 8 inches long, 4 inches wide, and about an inch deep. It is lightweight, weighing less than a pound, and it can be put in a purse, a backpack. I've even seen people kind of get its own little carrying case, like a knit sack, and put it in there, and it's really great. It's lightweight, portable, and it has I want to call it a forever battery, but it's not. It has a battery that lasts well over 24 hours on, and but you're turning it on and off, so it lasts a long time. The images that I have on my screen are of 2 hands reading Braille in a physical book, and of the digital e-reader. Another way that we provide service is through the Braille and Audio Reading Download Service, BARD, B-A-R-D. And BARD is our digital app. Now, here's what's great. We encourage patrons across the state who also become patrons of our library to explore the digital world. And in it, BARD, Libby, Bookshare, they are all there. BARD itself provides access to over 110,000 books in e-Braille and audio format, provides access to e-Braille and audio magazines. And unlike books that we send you in the mail, which have a 28-day due date, there are no due dates with our direct download service. You can keep them for as long as you need them. And what's really awesome is that you have a limit of 100 books per month, and most people never reach that. I myself did once, just because I was downloading children's books to listen to on a car ride, and I haven't reached it since. But we have a no due date, so I was able to hold on to those books for multiple months. Because it is direct download, it works with a smart device like an iPhone, an Android, and I do believe the Fire tablets as well. If you notice on the screen, and I will describe the image on the screen, the mobile layout is very similar to the digital talking book player. If you were to put each of them side by side, you would notice a big green start stop button. You would notice a fast forward and rewind on each side of the start stop button. You would notice a bookmark option for those who have the advanced player. You have a tone up, tone down, the speed up, speed down, all available in the app. Now, you can download from BARD using the BARD website as well, and download books for the digital talking book player. So if you are someone who is not wanting to use a smart device, but would rather use the player, you can also download from the BARD website and place it on a USB drive for use on the digital talking book player. What I particularly like is that you have the ability to create a wish list and track your recently reads. I love this because I'm a huge romance reader myself, and I will love to go and add an entire series to my wish list, and then one by one, I knock them out. Others choose to put books that they want to repeatedly read on their wish list. They go back and add it to their wish list each time. Others prefer to use the recently read to go back and download a book that they've read again. This service is versatile and very customizable to you. The image that is on the screen is of a hand holding an iPhone S6 with a screen laid out like the digital talking book player. On the screen, it shows the book, The True Meaning of Smek Day, which, by the way, is a fantastic book, and shows that the book had been started and that the play button had been pressed. So we offer supplementary book services. Like I said, with BARD and in our collection, we have over 110,000 books read by a live human voice. However, we partner with an organization called Bookshare to expand our collection and allow individuals to download books in a computer automated voice. That allows them to have access to over 700,000 books in text and audio formats. Like BARD, there are no due dates, and it's directly downloaded to a smart device or through the website for use on the digital talking book player. Unlike BARD, it is a synthetic computer voice. So imagine Siri reading you a book. It's basically that. But again, you can create a wish list, you can track your recently reads, and they also have materials that are not going to get recorded because they are considered niche, or they're things like textbooks or rare materials that can't be found anywhere else. This is a supplementary service that's absolutely free. The image that's on the screen is of the Bookshare logo, and the Bookshare logo looks like a fanned out book of pages. Another supplementary service that we provide is Newsline. Newsline is an app or service, I should say, that is provided by the National Federation for the Blind. And it provides access to national newspapers, local newspapers, regional newspapers, local news and entertainment, magazines, and periodicals. You will often find some international newspapers available to you. And because this is updated and changed every day, sometimes multiple times a day, they do use a synthetic reading voice. So again, it's Siri reading to you or Alexa reading to you. You can customize your services through this by either choosing to dial in over the phone to get your newspaper read to you in an audio format there. You can choose to do it on an app on your smart device, or you can choose to use their website. It is entirely up to you. The image that's on the screen is of the app icon for Newsline. A hidden gem of our program is the Maryland Accessible Textbook Program. The Maryland Accessible Textbook Program was designed for 2 to 4 year college students who attend a Maryland college. So there are students in Maryland who are going to school right now who need additional assistance in their education. They need textbooks formatted in an audio, accessible PDF, or large print format, and it's not available through their DSS office. So what we do is we work in conjunction with that DSS office. And for those who are unaware, DSS office, sometimes called Access Services, sometimes called Student Services, is the office that is supposed to provide students with a special need an accommodation. They're supposed to provide services to that student. We work in conjunction with that office to provide books in MP3s, accessible PDFs, and large print. Sometimes that means that we're able to go out and purchase the book and we make it available to the student. Other times it means we actually have to physically convert the book. And in that case, the student will purchase the book. We will cut the book apart and we will scan the pages and then turn it into an accessible document. This process is arduous and takes a very long time. So it can easily take a semester to get the entire book sent to a student. But as technology is changing, this is getting faster and faster. And as more students are asking for MP3s and accessible PDFs, publishers are providing that more and more often. Another hidden gem within our agency is the technology user group. This group is focused on learning about assistive technology or how to adapt existing technology to meet the needs of individuals who are blind or low vision or have a physical impairment that prevents them from accessing traditional media. It meets monthly via teleconference. You can join online if you choose. We use free conference call. Each month has a dedicated topic that we discuss, and often includes adapting and using technology. At the end of each session, there's an opportunity for skill share. So this means an individual might have an opportunity to share something that they learned or ask questions of the group to see where they need to be. We often bring in guest speakers. We provide assistive technology training in a one-on-one format. If the technology user group is not covering a particular topic, we will meet with individuals one-on-one to provide assistive technology training. And what we do is we record and archive all of them so that if you miss it, you can go back and listen to it again. The image that is on the screen is of a return key on a keyboard, but rather than the word return, it says the word learn, L-E-A-R-N. We provide programs and events to individuals across the state. We offer various reading challenges, tactile tours, crafts. We bring in guest speakers. We have live performances of plays, skits, and music performances. And as often as possible, we podcast them for everyone to have access to. It's not practical for everyone across the state to make it to Maryland, to Baltimore. We also don't have great parking here in downtown Baltimore. So we try to do everything that we possibly can to equalize access. So we do virtual programming. We have provided tactile tours in the past of various organizations, such as NASA. The image that you see on the screen is actually a gentleman touching a NASA flight suit, a spacewalk suit at the Goddard Space Center. And that was a tactile tour we did. We do have programs specifically geared towards youth individuals. Youth is birth to 21, adults are 18 and older. So there's a little bit of crossover between adults and youth. But with the youth, we provide a summer reading challenge. We do winter reading and interactivities. We bring in guest speakers. We have live performances. We do make and takes, or take and makes rather. And most importantly, we are part of the Build a Better Book program. The Build a Better Book program is an initiative that pairs students in STEM with the idea of making books tactile and accessible to everyone. The image that you see on the screen is of a Build a Better Book program that happened in 2019, pre-COVID. And in it, we had students and staff testing these various tactile and accessible books. At the forefront of the image is a young man wearing a blindfold who is currently trying to do a maze that is audible. So it's not only tactile to feel, but had audible components to it. In the background is a staff member who was reading Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And rather than use traditional brailing methods, the students used rhinestones, which made it not only visually beautiful, but tactile as well. So that was a lot about what we do. So now I have to talk about eligibility. To apply for services, individuals must meet certain criteria. They have to be an individual whose vision, physical impairment, or organic impairment puts them in a position where they can no longer access traditional media. This means that they are unable to see a book, hold a book, or process traditional print. Cognition needs to be in place. For example, you may have a person who has Down syndrome. Down syndrome in and of itself is not a qualifying disability. However, if that person who has Down syndrome also has low vision, then they may qualify for services. To qualify for services, you do have to have a certifying authority. A certifying authority is an individual who can state that you meet the criteria for service. That's going to be a DM, a DO, an MD or DO, an ophthalmologist, a registered nurse, a therapist, professional staff at hospitals, institutions, public welfare agencies, and in some cases, a certified librarian. So individuals across the state may find that they need to visit someone to have this certifying authority met. Some frequently asked questions that we get. Does your program offer music? And the answer to that is no. We don't offer music for listening, but we do offer musical scores in Braille, in e-Braille, large print, otherwise known as bold note, and recorded instructional materials for learning so that you can learn to play various instruments. We have individuals who contact the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled's music department directly, and they will get the music scores, and they will just learn how to play guitar, how to play the saxophone, and it's a lot of fun. How are materials received from the library, and how are they returned to the library? So if you are getting something from us in a physical format, we are going to send it in a specialized mailer. This specialized mailer may be a box or a clamshell container. And in it, on that box or specialized container is going to be a mailing card. This mailing card will have your address on the front, our address on the back, and all postage is paid for by the library. So no matter if you are mailing it to us or we're mailing it to you, postage is taken care of. If you are choosing to download books directly from the library's website or from Bard Mobile, you would do that on your own through the Bard mobile app or through the Bard website. Does it cost anything to use this program? The answer to that is no. We are a tax-supported federal program that is administered by the state of Maryland. We are part of the Maryland State Library Agency, and therefore it is already here and built in. If you move states, you will find that every state has to have a library like ours, and you will also find that all of them are free to you. You can connect with us in multiple ways. The first and foremost is by telephone, 410-230-2424, 410-230-2424, via our website, www.lbph.maryland.gov, and via email at reference.desk@maryland.gov. Of course, we are also on social media as well, so there are times where I will get questions asked via Twitter, so which is always fun and exciting. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and try to answer the questions in our Q&A. The first one, did you say that the technology user group is for individuals with disability, or is it open to anyone? The answer to that is that it is open to anyone. It is geared towards individuals who have a print disability, but it is open to everyone. And also, because they are recorded, they are turned into podcasts as well, so anybody across the state can listen to them. Can digital talking book reader and rentals be delivered to the post office boxes, or must they be mailed to physical addresses? They can be mailed to post office boxes, but we do need to have a physical address on record as well. It's very rare that we send things to post office boxes. We prefer the physical address if possible. Can my local library help me complete the application? Yes, they can. So the local library can help you complete the application. And if they meet the criteria for certifying authority, they can actually help you get the application finished and sent over to us. Now, the best way to do that is to take the application and have it scanned and emailed to us. It's a much faster turnaround, and that is something that your local library can help you with. Do you offer religious material in audio format? The answer to that is yes. We offer a wide variety of religious materials in audio format. Now, we also offer a lot of religious commentary in audio format as well. It's primarily the commentary that you'll find here. Every time I hear what you have to offer, I'm blown away. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming. If anybody has any additional questions and would like to either raise a hand or drop them in the chat, I'll be here for another few minutes. If the public comes across a device that might be of use, can we make suggestions? Of course. If there's ever something that we can do to try to make life a little bit more accessible, we will. However, we are limited in what we can do because we are providing materials from the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled. Hi, how can I help you? How can I help you?
Thank you for your presentation. As a parent of a child who has just lost her sight, information like this is very helpful, as we ourselves are searching for resources to be a support to our daughter. I wanted to find out some information regarding the services that you provide, and if any of this information would be available to view for reference later on. And also if there are any trainings as well too, if not at the main library where you're at the other local libraries that are within our area.
So this presentation, along with let me mute you so I don't echo. This presentation along with other presentations will be stored on our YouTube channel, so you can reference this at any time. Our website contains this information at all times. Assistive technology training is held here at our agency, and it is provided one-on-one. It can be done over the phone, but if you can come in person, it's a little bit better because the one-on-one interaction is a little bit easier to do when it's in person, especially if you're bringing an additional device. Public libraries across the state do offer various trainings on the services they provide, so I would highly encourage you to connect with your local branch library as well, because you never know what tools and resources they may have. Does that kind of answer your question?
It does, and thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The next question in our Q&A is, in a college setting, do we refer students who need services to their DSS offices or give them the contact info provided? Do both. Definitely refer them to the DSS office. The DSS office is responsible for helping these students get the tools that they need. But referring them to the library as well is a great start, because if the dialogue hasn't happened between the student and the DSS office, our accessible textbook program will help get that dialogue started. What is the process? So once we have the application back from an individual, we will take that, process the application, and it takes about 3 business days. Once the application is finished being processed, we send out materials in whatever format they've requested. So if they want a digital talking book player, we mail the digital talking book player along with a selection of books to get started. If, for instance, they say that they are more interested in the direct download service, we provide them with the direct download service and get them started that way via email. The application process is actually the most painful part of it, and simply because you have to get us a physical application that is signed by a certifying authority. Once that part is done and we receive the application, everything else is smooth sailing. Will the slides be sent out? I think I missed the first 5 minutes. Yes, if you were a librarian attending from MaryLib, I will be sending out the slides as well as a video. So if you are a public library and you are interested in an institutional account so that you can get a machine and use and train staff and customers with firsthand knowledge, that is something that you can do. You would need to complete an institutional application. I would highly recommend that you contact me off list and I will send you an institutional application. It may already be that your library has this information, has a player somewhere in the system. And if it does, we will work with you to make sure that your branch has one too. What is the turnaround time between receiving the application and mailing out the reader? It's about 3 days, 3 business days. In actuality, it's much faster than that, but we say 3 business days to give ourselves some padding. Now, once it leaves our building, it is sent through the U.S. Postal Service, so it is on them to get it to you, and that can take, a week for a book, the player to get to you. And that's just something that's outside of our control. What is the process for certifying a disability as a librarian? Use your best judgment. If someone comes into you and you feel comfortable signing the application because you can clearly see that they have a disability that qualifies them, then feel free to sign the application. Use your best judgment. Do you need to renew your library card, or what is one-time application good forever? The one-time application is good forever. If you sign up for services and you decide you no longer need services, you can just return all your materials and let us know that you are returning them because you no longer need service, and we will turn your account off. If you change your mind 5 years from now, we turn your account back on. That the application is good for forever. As long as we still have you in our system, your application is still good. What are your hours for one-on-one and one-on-line? They are by appointment only with our assistive technology librarian and trainer. He works one-on-one, and they are by appointment only. The appointments can be either in person here at our library in downtown Baltimore, or they can be in a teleconference format so that you can learn more about whatever device you're looking for. Are there any further questions? Well, I would like to thank everybody for attending today. Oh, I see 2 more questions. What is the URL for the YouTube channel? The YouTube channel, it's MD, I'm sorry, it's Maryland State Library's YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and type in Maryland State Library, it'll come up. And will I do this workshop again? Yes, the plan is to do another 1 or 2 of these over the next several months to try to refresh and reach audiences as much as possible. And I will make sure that closed captioning is working next time. I do apologize. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Again, I apologize about the chat and the closed captions. They were supposed to be working. They were turned on. I don't know why they're not. So I will make sure that the slides go out. They will also make sure the recording goes out on our YouTube channel, and make sure that a transcript is available as well. All right. Well, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. I hope you have an amazing week, and good luck.